I've been feeling so unproductive in my life recently because I keep procrastinating on things because I don't want to do them, and I just feel tired all the time, and I feel guilty for not doing one thing instead of another thing. I'm like, you know what I need in my life? I need an ergonomics upload. So here I am. Welcome to the ergonomics upload. Today we have just a picture of Sherby on the beach that was made to post onto her Instagram, which I have not posted to, and a year ago. I love her curls. I wanted her story to have like its own rendering style, kind of not as like texture, more like smooth render than what I usually do in my everyday art. So I have not. Last time I did this line art style was for an art fight attack. So if you don't know what those words mean, that's okay. That just means that I haven't done this style of lining since July. I should do it again at some point. Yeah. Because usually now my the line art brushes that I usually use now are round, and this one's a triangle. So it took me a second to get used to the triangle again. I remember being kind of frustrated when I went back to it, but it still looks good. I mean, I drew this like, it might have been a year and a half ago, around, roughly. So it's gonna be a different look than I usually do. It'll be cute and fun and cool. I remember when I saw my sister on her phone, I was just looking over her shoulder, as siblings do, and she came across that post, and she looks at me and like, what's anatomy? Which, knowing her, she was probably referring to her breasts. But what I actually really struggled with, now that I pointed out, and now you'll see it too, like the non-existence of her stomach contour. I couldn't not figure it out from that angle. I've been introduced to a wonderful godsend of a website called Pose Maniac, so I've mostly been using that. You've been listening to Vivid Green by Snail's House. Coming up next, without my voice talking over it, will be It's Never Personal by Fino, which I'm pretty sure I have used before, and I think I even have used a slowed down version before, but we're just gonna do it again, it's okay. I don't want to be super annoying, so I will see you again after this short break to just spill about Sherby in general, because I don't know what else to talk about. Okay, bye! Hi, what'd you think? Was it cool? Was it fun? I've said this so much already. This is not new information, but I am very thankful for Sherby for being a hater. So in my comic series, Lisa's Dollhouse, I was conceptualizing it in like the beginning of 2020-ish, before the lockdowns, like early 2020. When I was trying to, because it was just like a headcanon I had in my head, basically, where I was like, in canon safe space for my characters to interact with each other. And then I'm like, okay, this actually has like a plausible comic concept that I could make it. Sherby and Pierce did not exist at that time, so they weren't going to be in it. I had them for around like a briefer period of time, and I was thinking about like, oh, should they get put into Lisa's Dollhouse? Mostly because Desmond was the only guy at that point. And it's kind of like a, I don't mind a gender imbalance, but it's a little bit unreasonable. Oh, this is just when I gave up with the background. Oh, I remember this. Oh, this was terrible. Anyway. So yeah, if one of them's going in the comic, the other one's gotta come with. And it was when I came to the realization that, oh, no one really dislikes each other. Sherby is like, stirs up discord. Sherby doesn't like nearly anyone there, and that's very valuable to have, and I didn't have that before. So I'm very thankful that she's a hater. Of course, there was a small arc published now. Arc is an overstatement, excuse me. Where it was a moment of maturity where she was like, hey, I'm sorry, that was kind of cringe of me, Genevieve. She still like stays a hater though, like she's not gonna Speaking of Desmond earlier, she does not like him. I don't think she ever will like him. Yeah, if you couldn't tell by using your eyes, I struggle with this background a lot. It's just a weird angle because there's no like, the horizon line was like especially really unclear to me. And since it's a beach, it's not like a perfect horizon. Well, of course, there's kind of like no such thing as a perfect horizon. There's only such thing as new horizons. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked for me. So I went a little bit geographically inaccurate. I believe I ended up trying to put tiny mountains in the backgrounds just to try to mimic something that exists. You know what I mean? I say it's geographically inaccurate because, well, as you may know, I am a Californian. I'm not proud of it, trying to quit, but I really see like Pierce and Sherby as like East Coasters. Of course, like as soon as like the whole influencer thing takes off, then they have to move to Los Angeles. That's kind of mandatory. It's the rite of passage. It's what you gotta do. But they definitely just both of them like how they are, and also just because I don't want all of my stories to take place in California. Half of my extended family lives like they all grew up on Long Island, so I've been over there like quite a few times. So like that kind of area is kind of what I was thinking of for them, like Northeast Coast, Southern New York-ish. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying I have Long Island in my head. That's what I have in my head. As I briefly mentioned earlier, I'm pretty damn sure I mentioned earlier, I don't think I cut it out. Did I cut it? No, it's still in. Jeez, I can't remember anything. Anyway, I'm still having kind of like a mini crisis to myself over how accurate her boobs are. I've been given paranoia. They could have sagged more, but also they're being held up by bikini, so I don't know. Is that supposed to be? No, that's too dark to be Pierce's leg. That's someone else. Pierce is probably gonna be the one taking the picture, so of course he's not gonna be in the shot. That's my other crisis I've been having. What does Pierce look like when he's sunburnt? Because he's a swimmer, he would be sunburnt. Forgot I have to make like a whole like because you know the melanin to chicken salad ratio is that all the melanin people are at around the equator because they build up more melanin to fight UV from the sun. So it's the middle of melanin, and then as you get to the poles, it slowly gradiates out into chicken salad. Sorry, I got kind of close to the mic there. I got a little bit excited talking about white people. I knew that wasn't gonna come out good when I said it, but I'm still surprised that didn't come out good. Anyway, so I need to do that to the equivalent of the color spectrum so I can try to figure out. I don't want to attach people like Pierce and Sherby to like real world ethnicities, but I just want to know how bad they sunburn, if they sunburn. So if we go based on wavelength, purple's gonna be like the tightest one, so that's gonna be the equator, and then as it spreads out. So that would place Pierce like kinda darkish, but he's more, I guess he would be mixed, so he would sunburn kind of, or I guess he would purple burn. That's what I'm thinking in my head. The video's over. Hello, thank you for video. This has been video. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Really? You died? Why couldn't you have stayed that way?